Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to vlog number 4. Just a short little vlog. They say that I recorded like an hour worth of footage, but yeah, I probably don't need to see the whole thing. The game in the background is Battle for West North. Specifically, it's one of my well, West North's not my project, but this is one of my campaigns. Wed with the Reborn. You can see a little tease of it. I'm just wondering, like, what am I going to put in the background? Maybe I'll playtest the first scenario. Spoiler alert, I died. Mostly because I wasn't playing as cautiously as I should be. But again, they may not even make it into the video. So, might be wondering, what happened? You know, originally it was like, hey, 1st of March, update video. We're returning back to the regular schedule. 3 videos a week, getting back in the groove. Alternately known as, we are returning to our regular schedule, disappearing for an unknown length of time. So, what happened? Well, as I stated times in the past, the way I record is I record at night. Specifically like 9 o'clock or later, because that's when I have time for myself. Now, the issue with that is, and well, okay, question. Why do I record at night? Well, A, during the day, there was an office next to my, pretty much next to my room, that's occupied. So I don't want to be recording in the middle of the day because I may disrupt the home office. May disrupt whatever's going on in the home office. Now, of course, I can just say, screw it and record anyway, but I gotta be considerate, man. Gotta be nice. So I don't record during the day. And also during the day, I'm usually handling other family matters and pretty much handling the household. I'm a butler. Not really, but pretty much cooking, cleaning, doing yard work. Handling all those tasks is what happens during the day. And then at night is when I have time for myself. Problem. While during the day, there's an office next to me, and I'm usually occupied. At night, there is a guest room across the hall from my room. And as of late, that guest room has been occupied. And when that guest room is occupied, I can't record. Now, I could have given a heads up and said, okay guys, there's not going to be any videos out for a while because, you know, the way I record and my setup sort of problematic. And the thing is, this sort of happened a bit of sudden and I haven't really had a chance to record anything until this very moment. Now, you might be seeing a Dark Souls 2 video come out about the same time as this vlog. That was recorded before the hiatus. I explored the west of the sunken city. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So, the recap on that little point, you're like, dude, it's only like 3 minutes in the video. Recap on that point, it's due to my recording setup. During the day, I'm occupied. There's an office next to me. And at night, there's a guest room pretty much across the hall. And that guest room was occupied, which pretty much meant I can't record. It's not a lack of desire to record. I want to record. I want to go back to playing my games. You know, I have been chipping away at the Undead campaign, or at least it was. I got like scenario 3. I got to the 3rd scenario, guys. Progress. But that one, oh boy, we're not finally done with that video. I'm likely going to be recording that in like chapter by chapter. Of course, still be one mega video for the channel. And you'll hear me lamenting about it in that. Time capsules, ladies and gentlemen. Time capsules. And then that's pretty much it. So, as for schedule update, I'm just gonna go on. There is no schedule. I'm like, technically it doesn't matter because no one watches the channel. Hey, you'll be right. But, me being me, it's like, I gotta make sure everything's set just right, man. Because the ideal at present, my current ideal, is 3 vids a week. And as I stated previously, I like to be 1 week ahead on videos, so I have a nice buffer. The dream is to double record in a single night. And sometimes I keep saying like, okay guys, I'm gonna do the double recording, and then I get done with the first recording, I get some of the initial audio editing done, and it's like, you know what? I think I'm beat. I'm gonna call it, and I don't double record, and it becomes sad. Because double recording is one of the best ways to get videos out. It's efficient. But considering that my videos, I mean, if it's like a 2-hour recording or less, easy, double record, no problem. If it becomes like a super long video, and it starts like after midnight, after midnight's like, I don't know if I want to keep recording, or make a brand new recording, because who knows how long I'm going to be up for. So, that's basically it. Got not much else to say. Talk about in the background. Let's talk about the background. Of course, you probably saw as I type my notes on my notepad. So what exactly is going on in the background? Well, the game is called Battle for Westnorth. It's a totally free, like, turn-based strategy game, and like all the units and tile sets, that's all in the base game. The thing that what I'm doing is I'm making a campaign out of it. So the unit layout, the terrain, the map layout, basically in the story, I did that. And you might be wondering, hey, is this normal for Westnorth? No. No. This is no. The gameplay you're seeing, there's no unit recruitment, because normally what you do in Westnorth is you recruit units from those castles. See the castle Corvus is on? That's it. And if you're wondering why the enemy AI is just teleporting, I turned off AI animations because this is a rather long mission if you have them on. And why is that? Well, to give a idea of how long the mission and how long I did initial recording for, I recorded for about an hour. And I got to turn 9 with AI animations off, and I was playing somewhat casually. I'm not doing my usual save, reload, save scum. But when I'm playtesting, I have to make sure I don't do that because for balancing purposes. And though I do admit I was playing, like as I was playing casually, I made a mistake and my leader died. He got ambushed by some mages. But the main idea of the normal gameplay loop of Westnorth is you have a commander unit, you build units from a keep, and then you send them out and basically do whatever with it in skirmish mode. Campaign mode, the main gimmick of campaign is you can recall previous units, so you sort of start having a bond of your army, and depending on the campaign there may be other gimmicks. But the biggest thing about campaign in my eyes is actually using your commander unit in battle as like a hero. That was one of the biggest things I had to learn. Because it's just a unit recruit station. So like if say in RTS Warcraft 3, it's like a barracks, so you just keep it at base and you just pump out units, right? No. You pretty much recruit a batch of units, the best you can, and then you round everybody up, including your main leader, send them out, and go to town. Now, as for the particular scenario in the background, like I said, it's his campaign I'm sort of taking away with in my free time. Red Winter Reborn. This is a extremely massive mission, and its main gimmick is there's no unit recruitment, and like you can only recall units. Now you don't get to see that feature because this is only the first scenario. first scenario. So you can't recruit anybody, but you can only recall units. Now, one of the tricks here is, as you might have noticed, all of your units basically more or less start off at level 2. And then there's normally 3 levels of units, 3 tiers. Some units have special T4 promotions. And in addition to that, I have special hero units that have their own special abilities and better stats. And of course they're relevant to the plot. Now the main thing that makes this particular, how should I say, different from other campaigns is, well, pretty much just what I said. But this particular first mission is a massive multi-front battle. There are multiple fronts to manage, there's tons of units to move around. So early game, literally turn 1, and I can already see a bunch of people being turned, they boot it up. This campaign's amazing, and then I gotta move a bunch of units. This campaign sucks. So, there's a lot of planning in this. Manage multiple fronts, and since you can't recruit new units, you sort of have to determine, okay, which units can I sacrifice? You know, which units can I use as disposable fodder, and which ones I want to keep alive. As the campaign progresses, and of course each map will have different unique objectives, because I'm that guy. You have to make unique objectives for every map. I gotta have gimmicks. It's not just a fancy skirmish map with story, and I can't do that. This is not Advance Wars 2. No, we don't do. Yeah, we just throw some gimmicks, and it's a fancy skirmish map. No. There's gimmicks. Stuff happens. It's fairly involved. In addition, it's not just, oh yeah, just kill the leaders. Nope, you gotta defend the enemy, and then do some dungeon crawling, and then wake up the trees, defend the forest, and then there's like a city under siege. You gotta break through the enemy siege to reach the castle, but then suddenly there's a second wave that comes in you have to defend against. And then of course there is one of the classic, oh no, it's not a defeat all enemy leader, it's defeat the main enemy rival leader. But that map is pretty much freeform. It's just the classic, hey, you have a bunch of AI team up against you. Although I guess its gimmick is there's one faction that's sort of unique. The other faction has its faction trait. I'm spoiling the campaign, I know. And then the final mission, let's just say my hope of the final mission is the same as the Warcraft 3 bonus campaign. Like that same formula, like massive storm the fortress and there's a big boss at the end. And that's what I'm hoping to accomplish, but I don't know if hopefully I'll be able to pull it off. Because they always love that concept as a map. So yeah, that's me talking shit about what are we born. Now again, as I said, if this, like you're seeing Western for the first time, and go like, why is there so many units? Why is there 10,000 different fronts? What is this? No, that's not how Western's normally play. You normally have like maybe 10 units max on a map. Here I got, how many units I got? Does it even tell? 64, I think? That the unit number? Up there? I don't know. I don't think it's 64. Maybe? I don't know. Oh yeah, I just realized, hey, you get to see my battery percentage and the time up there. It's known. The timer and the battery on the West North page. It's his laptop build. Yeah, normal West North battles are much more smaller in scope. I deliberately made When Winter to be large, epic in scale. One of the campaigns, or maybe two of the campaigns, sort of supposed to have a big scale and scope. The official campaigns, which is Son of the Black Eye, which is a you can call it Orc campaign, what focuses on a horde, and then there's Northern Rebirth, which is also supposed to be another big epic battle type situation. Not sure how well those maps were, or actually are, because I never played those campaigns. I never got around to them. But I heard they have some mixed opinions. Now you might be wondering, like, hey, how are you going to be doing West North stuff? You know, now since the background is West North. And the answer to that is, in the near future, probably not. Because again, I already laid out the outline. Right now, the main focus of the channel will be Advance Wars, pretty much Souls games, and finishing up Warcraft 3. Now, if I do, and then manage to make significant progress on Red Winter Reborn, i.e. actually finishing all 6-7 scenarios, including interlude chapters, which are just cutscenes. So 2 cutscene maps, which is just story and moving units around on the board. It's all code. And maybe I'll do like a developer commentary of Red Winter Reborn. But otherwise, I mean, there's a bunch of other West North things that I could like play through the official West North campaigns, for example. And that is one of the things I would love to do. The thing is, I don't know. West North is not as, how should I say, viewer friendly. I don't know. I'm talking like, it seems boring to watch, and then I realize, but people watch people play chess, and just moving pieces on the board, and a strategic element, and that I don't delve into that. Like, people watch chess, but all it is people moving on the board. So, and like, what is like Advance Wars or like Fire Emblem? Yeah, but Advance Wars and Fire Emblem have a bit more, I don't know, animation. Stuff's more happening to make it more, I guess, visually appealing. West North is more of a game you play, not a game that you watch. But that's my opinion on it. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Do another recap, because you know I love repeating myself. So, what happened? Basically, the way my recording studio, my recording is set up, I record out of my room. During the daytime, I'm usually occupied doing other tasks, and there's an office that on the other side of the wall that's occupied during the day. So, out of respect and not wanting to disturb anybody, I don't record during the day. And then at night, there's a guest room across the hall that suddenly got occupied, and that pretty much shot any chance of me recording, because, you know, recording at night, even though I may not, you know, I'm not a loud, reactive commentator, it's still noise, and it can potentially disrupt their sleep in the next room. So, and as it was a sudden thing, I couldn't really have a chance to make a video about it. In terms of schedule, the dream, as I previously said many times, 3 videos a week as a present. I mean, it'll be great if I can upload, you know, every single day, you know, 7 days a week. It's constant uploads, but that requires some time shenanigans that I don't have access to at the moment. So, 3 a week is the dream, but realistically, given my current situation that I'm in, I'm just going to straight up say there's no schedule. Like, when videos come out, they come out. They're like, hey, we're going to pump out 3 a week, and then I disappear off the face of the earth for a bit. Not because I lost interest, it's because I'm either unable to record or stuff is happening. And then finally, I start talking about this little thing here, Battle for West North again. Battle for West North is a free game, completely free. It's a turn-based strategy. You can download it. Is it org? It's not org. Or is it just West North? West North. Yeah, westnorth.org. And then you get it on Steam. I just got it from the official site because. Shoot, man. It's been that long. I was like, yeah, I remember playing West North because I was introduced to it in my high school days. Like, wait a minute, that was a long time ago. I'm like, wait a second. It was one of my buddies at the computer, IT class I was in. They were playing. They had West North in the computer lab, and they were messing around with West North. That's how I got introduced with it. Not to mention play Halo. They're like, what do you play Halo in the computer lab? Like, hey, yeah, we play Halo in the computer lab. And not just normal Halo, we'd also play some modded Halo. So, some things to note there was the rocket launcher was pretty much a nuke. And you fire off the rocket, blows everything up. You fire the plasma cannon, it's like a motor. Very large AoE. Those are the two things off the top of my head that I remember. But that's completely off topic. Oh man. But as I was saying, West North is a completely free game. You can download it. You can get it on Steam if you prefer using Steam as a platform. And it has tons of official content. You can play skirmish missions, you can play campaigns. It has like over a dozen official campaigns, and each campaign has its own unique gimmick to it. So you can, if you don't like one campaign, play a different campaign, and that campaign may be more to your liking, either due to the story it tells, and the fact, or the units you play with, or just the campaign mechanics. And with that in mind, again, the game in the background, or the Pacific here, is the campaign I'm sort of tinkering on, which is Red Winter Reborn. And you might be asking, why is it called Red Winter Reborn? Well, because I did have an original add-on called Red Winter. You can still, if you get an older version of West North, you can find it on the older add-on server, maybe. But I didn't like it that much. I felt it can be improved. And I also had to change out my hard drive on my laptop because my previous one got shot. So I said, you know what, I'm going to redo it and do it from scratch and make it white this time. So instead of just drawing on randomly generated maps, I'll do everything myself. Or at least map design wise. And change a couple of story elements here and there, some of the structure. But when will you see Red Winter Reborn? I have no idea. Because, as I said, like in my March thing, like, hey, maybe I'll work on Red Winter Reborn in February. No, that didn't happen. What about in March? Nope, that didn't happen. What about April? Maybe. But I'm also getting distracted with another side project of mine. I have tons of projects not related to YouTube that lean more on the game development side. No, I say it's more like blueprints and concepts. Specifically, the latest thing I'm tinkering away with is a sort of remade version of Fire Emblem Fates, because Fire Emblem Fates had an extremely amazing concept of East versus West, loyalty, honor, emotion. But the thematics were there to make something amazing. The story completely sucked. Now, gameplay-wise, the Conquest path is one of the best gameplay things in the series. Music is great. Characters are hit or miss. Especially when you bring them up in the main story territory. Main story is just completely, no. Just no. But yeah. I've been yammering a bit. It's already almost 25 minutes in this video. And I just remembered, oh yeah, I have something else I can say too. So as an extra, well, I guess we'll go ahead and go with it. This is free flow, man. I'm on a mic and I just talk. I have some notes like, hey, let's make sure we cover these topics. But if something else comes up, it just happens, man. So one of the things, speaking of other projects, I was potentially thinking about the YouTubes was potentially narrating some of my old work. Well, pretty much like not a narrating, but like reading. I got some old short stories and poems I got that are just sitting around doing nothing. And sharing them would be nice, but then I was like, yeah, but then they gotta put them out there. I mean, I just wanna, I don't know. I mean, me reciting them is one thing. I guess, yeah, that could be sort of nice, but at the same time, this is supposed to be a video game channel, not a, yes, we do poetry and short stories here now. This is now suddenly a literature channel. Now if I go heavily into visual novels, maybe I can, okay, you can, what's it called, segue. But, you know, I just feel like, yeah, just put it up somewhere and people read it or something like that. But you need to advertise this. Nah. Writing and poetry and all that, it's nice, but for me, video games are where it's at. So where was it going with this whole tidbit? Pretty much the idea was I might record some videos of me just reading the various poems and stories I wrote and toss it up on YouTube. Now the thing is, like, hey, it's gonna be anything fancy. Nope, it's just gonna be a man reading, looking at a text document. Like, well, yes, I am reading it in Notepad. How did you know? Instead of like, why don't you like make it a parchment and a special font and maybe have some beautiful music in the background to set the mood? Or if you have more of a budget, maybe have an animation or make things look like, well, just a computer screen, screen capture, Notepad, man on the mic, let's go. But again, that was just an idea I had. I don't know if I'm actually gonna go through with it or not. Might be one of those things like, yeah, we'll get to it eventually. Just like, yeah, we'll finish Warcraft 3 Undead campaign eventually. We'll eventually get to Advance Wars, finish Advance Wars 2, and get to Advance Wars Returns eventually. We'll eventually get to Dark Souls 3 and Elden Ring. I'm tempting to skip Sekiro, but oh man, that's another thing for another time. I could literally just keep talking for a full hour and just say, hey, yeah, the video's done, man. Just go home. I'm gonna have to be like, yeah, just put in a sequence. You know, let's just do that. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the end of the vlog. We already covered the major topics. So if you want to bow out now, this is time to do so. So again, this is SirMarcusCalibur signing off for those who are leaving. Have a good one, everybody. Hello, this is Mark from the future. That whole thing about, yeah, let's keep talking for the 4 hour, that didn't pan out. I just rambled on a bit and stayed quiet other times, and it was a mess. And granted, the first part of the vlog itself is already a bit of a mess as is, so we need not make a mess of it further. In case you were actually interested in seeing the match in the background, there'll be one day there'll probably be a proper developer playthrough of Red Winter Reborn, but that day is not the day. So again, this is SirMarcusCalibur signing off. Have a good one, everybody.